I guess.
Okay. I'm just going real slow.
Good morning.
Oh, as I scrape my chair. Good morning.
It does not feel like it's been 30 episodes.
That's right.
30.
I'm shocked and I'm practicing my surprise face.
You're
It's
stagger
been
back.
what? Yes, stagger back. Out of the camera. Yes, we were just discussing before we came on air, and we have not done our proper introductions, but I'm trying to stay in camera, but still be distanced enough, and so I'm like, hi. Yeah, alright. We were just talking before we started filming how, this is episode 30, and my face itches. Okay. This is episode 30. How crazy is that?
It is so crazy.
It is really seriously crazy.
Feels like we've been doing this for 30 years.
Or last week.
Last week, yeah.
Yeah. Or like we just started and we're still figuring out the glitches.
We are. Even if it's been 30 years, we're still figuring out.
We will be until yeah. Until the power fails, you know? Yeah. So, okay. And that's, okay. The other thing, I was talking to Brian about this, is it's 30 episodes of the Straight Up Sideshow. So, we just did the 11th VSC yesterday. So we're over 40 things we have put out as a duo on YouTube.
It's so weird.
It's like, oh gosh, anyone who's the show Monk, is a fan of Monk, that's like, okay, it's 30, but it's 41, but hey, I'm gonna wig out now. Today is Thursday. I can't remember what day it is. No. I can't remember what day it is. It's Thursday. Yes, it is.
So when we film on Tuesday, it'll be our 42nd episode. So the meaning
42,
of life.
The meaning of life and everything. We'll have to celebrate on Tuesday as well. Ho ho. I'll be tired on Tuesday as well because I'm gonna be traveling on Monday. Just driving over to Brian's parents' house. So, you know, anyone who's like, you're traveling? No. In enclosed groups that I've previously been exposed to. Anyway. Yeah. I get to be not punch drunk, but punch tired on Tuesday too. Yay! No, but
we still haven't done introductions.
I was just thinking that. I have things to say about the 30, but we should be welcome to Sun Dragon Sideshow.
The Adventures of Liz and Rebecca, and you don't know where it's gonna go.
We have that
because
down
we don't know where it's gonna go.
No. That's the whole point. If we rehearsed this, you would not enjoy it. It would not be as fun, I think. Yeah. All right. That's Liz. Every once in a while we just change up how I decide. I make it whatever. That's Liz. She's my minion at Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in Brevard, North Carolina.
That's Rebecca. She's my boss at Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in Brevard, North Carolina.
Yes. So, it's where I left off. So I'm going to throw some math in here.
No?
So we started this, what was it, February?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we can math and find out. But all I know is like the second day we filmed, it was snowing. Because we were like...
Yeah, the Thursday we were bored
and we decided, maybe we should do 2 days a week. Let's try it. We'll see how it goes. We've been doing 2 days a week of the straight up, you know, the straight up sideshow.
We'll only do it once a week. It'll be fun.
Because, you know, it's going to be taxing and we don't have time and yeah. So 30 episodes means that we've been doing this for 15 weeks. Now that's not a nice month roundness, you know, that's multiples. Math lesson, that's multiples of 4 weeks-ish. And 15 is a multiple of never mind. The end of next week, we will have been doing this for 4 months. That's weird.
Weird.
That's like 15 weeks is like, yeah, whatever. That's 4 months. Ooh.
Yeah.
That does February, March, April, May. And we'll be into June. So yeah, it was sometime in February when we started. Weird. Before life fell apart, we were like, oh, what the heck? Let's try doing this YouTube thing. And now it's like, yay, we get to be with people in some way because of YouTube.
Yay.
Yay! We miss you all so much. But, you know, you gotta, it's one of those, I have moments lately where it's, you gotta laugh or else you might cry. And so I prefer laughter now.
Laughter, yeah.
Yeah. So what can we talk about that might lead to some laughter this morning?
I've partially, wait.
There
There it is! And then the hole's halfway full.
Yeah. Did you notice the white hole over again, when we're looking at ourselves to make sure that A, it's still filming, because this app will sometimes freeze and then we have to restart it. And if we were doing it on my phone, we wouldn't know, and that would be sadness. And B, so we kind of know, it's like the weathermen who do the virtual backgrounds, except this is not virtual. Look, this is real. It's like, where am I pointing? I haven't figured this out yet. So the hole above Liz is not quite as big and gaping and white anymore because you put what? What'd you put in there?
It's the Hearthstone.
Hearthstone. Okay.
Yeah, there's still more that has to go up. I just haven't.
I want to start my Jupiter. I want to start my Jupiter so bad out of the Hearthstone. Maybe this weekend, because this week has been insane. The whole Surprise Me sale bin support boxes
have been fantastic. Thank you very much for all of your support.
Yay! We have no time to knit.
Tuesday, the only knitting I got done was during
knit night.
No, was during this.
Oh.
And then I got a little bit of knitting done at knit night, but like we filmed, I knit, and then
then the rest of the day was just
the
crazy.
rest of the day was crazy, and then I looked at my phone during knit night, and I was like, "It's 8 o'clock."
How was it 8 o'clock?
When did that happen? Like, I don't know. It was crazy.
I've gotten a little. I'm going to show you later because it's going to leave little pill bugs of tweetiness all over me. I'm almost done with my Anchor summer shirt, so then I can move on to my Jupiter crop. Although I have about 4 or 5 shawls that I really should be working on. And Casapinka has a new shawl coming out that we should be making kits for, and maybe making a sample for. And oh my lord, there's not enough hours in the day. I didn't get much sleep last night, but I did get a nap yesterday, which was supposed to be short. But
and it wasn't.
It wasn't. It wasn't, because I'm tired. I'm really tired. I have this. Okay, this is from this weekend, and then we can talk about other stuff. I have an app on my phone that's supposed to. It's set for 20 minutes, like different lengths of naps. 20 minutes, 45 minutes, or 120 minutes. And you pick the one. One's like recovery, rest, and then like really good. There's names. But the whole point of the app is you leave the phone by you and are on the bed so it can feel your movements. And if you go into too deep of a sleep, which is not good for a nap, it throws everything off. It'll wake you up before you hit deep sleep so that you get rest but not like throw your day off crap. I set it for 45 minutes and it let me go for 16 because it sensed that I was going too deep. And I'm like, well, that figures. That's life.
Yeah.
Not the pandemic we were promised.
No.
You know. Anyway. So, just a random aside. Oh, okay. Before I cover it in little Tweety Flex at some point, I think this is the last color I haven't shown off yet. I think.
Have you worn the silver?
Yeah, I wore that yesterday. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention.
I even mentioned that. because she was wearing her blue shirt yesterday. If you didn't watch the VSC, go back and watch it because she was in blue and I was in silver, and I mentioned how you could compare and know what the colors were. And some people's, their shirts are ready today to pick up or mail. If it's pick up, I emailed you last night. So if you haven't gotten a notification from me, you're on the next batch, and when it comes in, I'll let you know. So this is the white. This is the one that, again, without moving too close to the center of this, the logo, all the colors will show up the best on the white because it's those colors that white is the background it was designed for. But not everyone likes white. I was actually surprised because I ordered shirts for the whole family, and I had ordered like gray for Brian, and he wasn't home. And he came home, and I said I ordered us shirts, and I told him what color. He was kind of like, huh. And I said, well, what color do you want? And he said, white. I went, really? But he wanted to change things up a bit. That's cool. And then we found out that the gray, the silver, is actually a really light silver. He probably would have been fine with it. Anyway, it's all good. So, that's my story about the shirts today. If you want some Sun Dragon swag, we'll put it in the comments. And you can always go to my website and buy it. Yay! So, yeah, I'm losing my train of thought because not a lot of sleep last night. So, ooh. No, I had random things. I was like, maybe we'll talk about this. Maybe we'll talk about that. I don't know. You've been hard at work at Minion bags.
I have.
And surprised me. Like, while there might still be holes up here, there's a whole crap ton of yarn on the floor because we have added to the sale yarns. We have DX some items.
We won't tell you what they are.
We're not going to tell you what they are, though, because here's the whole deal, right? And this was in the email that I sent out, if you got my email. And we also kind of explained this last time. The whole point of this is you're taking your chances. You don't know what we have left, and B, what we added. And if you want to get specific things in specific colors, if you're shopping for a project, I don't recommend the Surprise Me sale box. So, support boxes, because you just don't know what you're going to get. You can ask, you can request things. We've had lots of requests. We're writing it all on the back of the receipts, and then I'm letting Liz go to town.
I'm trying to like keep it within a decent little
we're
window.
really trying to meet your demands.
Trying to keep, if I mix colors, I'm trying to make sure that colors coordinate, and but
you have a better chance of that with the Surprise Me box than you do with the Minion bag.
Minion bags of mystery have gotten
or leftovers
so popular that it's getting to the point that I can't coordinate much in them because it's
that's
like
just fun. I mean, both of them are fun.
Yeah,
but yeah,
we have 5 for today. Go, and I'm like, what? I have to wind more yarn.
I know, Liz has to. Yeah. Anyway, but the Surprise Me sale bin support boxes, it's not, well, do you have this, and this, and maybe I'll buy it. No, it's not the way it works. It's fun. It is a surprise, even if we're trying to meet some of your requests. But it's, if you want, you can still buy the sale yarn and ask for really specific by name yarns and things like that for a project. You will be saving 20% if you do that.
20 or 40, depending.
Some of them are 40%. Most of them are 20 now.
We're running out of 40.
Yeah. So if you're shopping for something specific, you can coordinate with us and save money. If you want a Surprise Me box, you will save between 40 and most of them are closer to 50% off the sticker price. But you can't pick stuff. You get what we give you. We try to meet your requests for fiber, weight, and color, and put them in the order in which you want them. But we can't meet requests for specific yarns in specific colors. Like I want the Nora Mirai in this colorway. That's the price that's marked, the sale price that's been marked on it. If you're like, well, I just want something, give me $50 worth. You'll get awesome yarn, in my opinion, because most, if not all, we have in the shop is awesome yarn. Some is awesome for different purposes. But you won't know what you get till you open it.
Yay!
Yay! Anyway, so yeah.
You have this gorgeous sweater in front of you with sleeves.
I know, but I want to talk about one more thing because let's see, we're at 15 minutes. We got so much time.
15 goes so fast.
No, I reordered. So I showed you guys a while ago the dark arts cowl when we were talking about not too long ago. Oh look, fuzzies on the front. Ah.
What?
Dark arts cowl. This is mohair, one strand of mohair. If I put it that way, you might see it a little more. And one strand of fingering weight yarn. And the whole idea of this, when we were talking about mohair, so that one I should put across here so you can see. When we were advertising our mohair yarn, it was like, look, color changing, mohair, color changing, fingering weight, totally different, and it looks really cool. And we were out of this yarn. I'm like, we need to get more. And I think we've had discussions about dye lots before, where one dye lot to another can come out really different. So if you notice in this, it was this color changing blue, and it had some teals and some light blues, and it was really, really light.
The color changing dark yarn, we should say, the yarn, not the mohair, didn't have any blues in it.
None. So any blues you see in this is the mohair, right? And if you look on our website for this, it's called Cloudburst. The stock photo of this yarn is really light, and some teals and blues and stuff, but like the yarn that came back in when we reordered it, oh my gosh, it's way darker. It's beautiful, and it's really dark. It's beautiful, and it's got lovely jewel tones, but it's like a different color. It's crazy. So if you go on our website and say, ooh, I want color changing mohair, and you go off of the photo, I might have to take another photo of this and put it up. Although there's so many mohairs. Oh, wait. I was going to say there's so many mohairs we couldn't put all the photos up because our online shop has a couple of hinky bugs. And one is that we can't put more than 12 photos up for a bundled item, like one yarn. And some yarns, we have a lot more than 12 colors. That's why I haven't gotten around to putting everything up, because I'm still figuring that out. So this might be one, but the multi, actually, we only have a handful of multis, and it might have its own listing. I'm thinking aloud here. That's normal for the shop. It might be a little boring for the show. Again, the line we always gave people was, come to Sit and Stitch. If you come other times,
this is what you get. You
get the Liz and Rebecca show. And sometimes that's very entertaining. And sometimes maybe not. Anyway. All right. So that was just something that intrigued me that I felt like sharing with y'all. You know, if you love that yarn, get it. But if you go off the picture that's online right now from the website, you can tell the difference between the stock photos and ours, in my opinion.
If you're trying to match from last dye lot, it won't.
And I've had that. I love Sugarbush yarns. I've had that issue with Sugarbush before. If there's a long time between ordering yarns, they may have changed mills. They may have changed dyeing processes, and it's not. Other yarn companies will have that issue as well. So it's just buy enough for a whole project. Cannot stress that enough.
Yeah. If dye lot is important.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't know, and you run out because you think you've bought enough. And you get to the end of the project and you haven't. And
for our indie dyes, like our Feederbrook Farms, when we were talking about that yesterday, it's the same batch. She did totally it all at the same time, but you could have 3 skeins that look absolutely nothing like each other because of the way they're plied or the way they're painted or whatever.
We'll give our best advice on something like that. But know going in, if it's a mass dyed thing or a hand dyed or an indie dyed, things will be different. Quality will be different. Consistency will be different. And it doesn't mean that it's poor quality if the consistency is not the same across them. It could be the way that it's dyed. It's just really hard to make things match. To replicate again and again and again. And we are a society of convenience, many of us. And so we're expecting things to match, or like yarn balls not to have knots in them, And that's just not reality for many yarn companies, unfortunately. And it doesn't mean they're bad yarn companies. But anyway, I breathed too heavily there. I inhaled stuff. That's just life for me too.
Yarn dust.
Yarn fuzz. All right, so I showed y'all this sweater, and I had gotten to the bottom of it, minus like this much of casting off, and it was still on sleeve holders, and the sleeves are short sleeves. So look, yay!
It's done. It looks so cute.
It's done, except it's probably not done. So. Because I actually, I didn't finish. Let me see if I can. And that's going to pull out some stitches. I'm trying to. I didn't finish binding off there. Can you see that? I just took the needle out so I could use it for my sleeves. Because I have a feeling I have this much yarn left over. Whoop! Wrong direction. I have a feeling I might make it a little longer. So,
which when she loses it, that yarn chicken is going to be sad.
I'm not. I plan to have leftovers for a Minion bag from this.
I need 15 plus grams for a Minion
We'll
bag.
see. I'm going to go put this on over my t-shirt so y'all can see how it's coming. Liz, you get to vamp for a second.
So, on Tuesday night. Tuesday? Wasn't it night? Tuesday?
It was night. It was Tuesday.
It was Tuesday. I did not work on any papillons. I actually wound up pulling out a hat that's Pharaoh. It's
Did you bring it with you today?
I did not. I want to get at least one section of that done before I bring it in, because it's on teeny tiny needles and I don't want to lose anything. And when I say teeny tiny, it's a 3. And I pulled it out because somebody asked, or we were discussing tiny needles, and I was like, I do have a project on tiny needles, and they were like, and I pulled it out, and I'm like, see.
And then the only way she could hold the needles up to the camera, like so you could see it's tiny, they didn't look tiny, because they were like 3s.
They were like 3s.
Anyway,
but I had done the first part of the hat in 2.5, so.
Okay, you guys are getting. Let me pull this down. You guys are getting my big reveal on this. I haven't even tried it on to know how these sleeves would look. It's interesting. You know, it's a little funky here, but I can't even really see it in the camera. But, you know, I like the sleeve length. I think this is good.
Too.
If it looks a little lumpy, funky, I am wearing a t-shirt underneath it, you know. I might wear it with a tank. I will say, you know, you guys can probably see the holes where I joined. Get this out of the way.
Yeah.
I will seal those up when I sew my ends in from starting my sleeves. So, I'm staying here so it's out of the way. I'm overall pretty pleased with this, I gotta say. I think, I'm a bum. I think I want it a little bit longer. I think
Another
right now,
inch or 2.
inch or 2, which is what I was supposed to do. If I need to add yarn just to bind this off, I might as well rip back and lengthen it instead of just having extra ends to weave in the ribbing. I am not a fan of weaving ends in the ribbing. And right now, because this is a little clingy fabric, I feel like it is accenting the bottom of my muffin top a little too much. I think if it was a little longer, like down to here, I would be happier. So that's one of the reasons I didn't finish sealing this off. I'm going to rip it out. I'm going to rip it back to here. And I'm going to take it to the 23. It was supposed to be from here down and then do the ribbing. And I think I'm going to win at Yarn Chicken and have something left over for Minion Bags of Mystery. And Minion Bags of Mystery.
Next week.
I wasn't on camera for that. Okay, so yeah, they didn't take too long. I had to get over the whole. Okay, in this section, I hit a point where I was like, I'm so tired of ribbing. Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm gonna.
I can't wait for just straight knitting.
And then I got to the straight, and everyone's like, "You're gonna get tired of straight knitting." I'm like, "I know, but it's something different." And then guess what? 2
rows in.
I got tired of straight knitting. I was ready to shove a knitting needle in my eye to break up the monotony. But I find straight knitting though. What's great? The reason I got this as far as it did is a movie night with the family. You know, things where I could just knit and knit and knit, and while doing something else and be distracted. And some people are good at that, and some people can't. Even straight knitting, they need to focus on it. That's okay. Everyone is in their own place on the crafting journey, right? It's not a competition. That's my teacherly side coming out.
Depends. Could be Papillons, could be competition.
I do have some knit-nighters who all started the Papillon together, and I'm trying to tell them it's not a competition, but one, mentioning no names, Shia, is really fast. She's doing, it's woo! She's just sailing through this.
She's gonna have like 5 done before I get another one done.
I think some other knitters might be a little envious. I'm a little envious. I've totally stalled out on my Papillon.
She won projects at a time too, though.
That's true.
You know.
That is the benefit of one project at a time. You actually get stuff done. Who knew? I stall out even as one at a time. I stall out. So
I've stalled out on so many projects, as everybody knows, and we fixed my sweater.
I was gonna say we should talk about what you're doing right now, because it's not a Papillon.
It's not a Papillon.
Yeah. So here's the story with this. So was it Tuesday we were talking about how it had a goof in it?
Tuesday we were talking about how it had a goof,
and I said I could fix that.
The goof was.
We're missing an eyelet, right?
In here. Yep.
And I did fix that, I think. Did I fix it? I fixed it right, but it was...
Fixed it. The stitch marker was off.
Oh,
it was just over one, but like...
I didn't know where the stitch marker was supposed to be, because guess what? Yesterday, she's like, fix this, please. And I said, sure.
I said, do you want to look at the pattern? And she said, let's wing it. And I said,
no, I don't need the pattern. I know it. I know what's supposed to happen. Well, and here's the other issue that I think you probably are happier that you ripped back. She frogged. She ripped back.
Yep.
All that hard work. No, I didn't really work that hard on it. But she ripped back, even though I tried to fix it without ripping it out. I think a good reason to do that is what was missing was a yarn over. Was
one yarn over.
And that one yarn over, like 4 rows down, means that knitting over it, that yarn over added a stitch, and that meant there were 4 rows on top of it that were short a stitch, and you can jam that in. I know how to do that, and you can, but even as I was fixing it, it was really tight. Like her gauge was off in that section because there's less yarn to be repairing, to like drop down and repair back up.
It looked all bunched up.
Yeah. And you can fix that too. You can reproportion the stitches, but all the stitches in that area will not be the same gauge as the rest of your sweater. So if you want it to look, you ripped it out, and I think that was the right decision.
So I basically ran a
I didn't take it personally.
No, I ran a set of cable needles that were a smaller size through the stitches, and this cotton is fantastic except for following the line of stitches, because I wound up my line went.
Because it changes color, and you couldn't tell.
Because it changes color, and I'm following the color and not the yarn.
No.
And so, like, I got everything in there, and then I start pulling it out, and, like, it's like, you have 2 rows left to frog in this chunk, but you're already frogged in this chunk, and I went, oops.
But it looks pretty now. You want to hold it up?
So last night I finished all of the yoke part and the raglan, and I put my sleeves.
And this is the colorway,
stitch holders,
formerly known as Kangaroo Isle, because Queensland mislabeled things for like a whole batch of yarn. It's actually Cape York. And my brain still wants to call it Kangaroo Isle because that's the color I used on the upper part of this. I think, look, kind of matches. Anyway, we fixed that online, I hope, maybe, sort of.
So the 2 different balls where the top this much is one ball, and then the bottom is, and it looks like it has more dark in the second ball, but it still looks really, really
overall
cool.
Same tones.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So I'm just if you really care about that, every other row,
alternate other row
balls, and it all kind of
pain in the bum.
If you don't care about it, my I don't care bar is set really low because I don't care, and so it's like just throw a new ball in. oh, it's doing something a little bit different. Okay, who cares? Whatever.
It's what shows that it's hand knit.
Yeah.
And people can say, "Did you make that?" And you can, and in a positive way, and you can say, "Yes, I did."
Sometimes they go, "Oh, did you make that?
You made that, didn't you?"
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? I got fingers for you. This is a family show, so I won't give them here. I got fingers. Anyway.
Yep. So I haven't worked on Papillons, but Tuesday I should have a good chunk on my Fair Isle hat. On teeny tiny needles.
Episode 42.
Episode 42, The Meaning of Life. And so I will bring that in to prove that I've played with teeny tiny needles. I don't believe they exist, but I've played with them. It's kind of like fairies. And anyway, I did find, and I was telling you earlier, that when I ferrule, like, a lot of people hold the yarn in two different hands.
Mm-hmm.
And I continental knit. And 2 yarns, I can do the 2 yarns.
She really doesn't like English style knitting.
English style is wonky.
English is throwing with your right hand. Continental is tension in your left hand,
Yep.
and it's more like you're picking with the
Yep.
needle.
Yeah, it flows for me. The English is
I'm
kind
an
of
English knitter mostly. I know how to continental, and when I Fair Isle, I can do both, and I kind of like it. But yours is like, oh.
I've done like this much on size 3 needles, which this much is like 5 rows in normal world. And anyway, I've done this much doing both fingers, and then last night I was sitting there going, it's getting just tedious and I don't like it. So I just drop one and do it continental, and I'm faster and looser at Fair Isle, like keeping my floats looser at Fair Isle, doing it just one at a time.
Well, and they actually do sell little things you can put on your finger with spots for the 2 yarns, so you could pick both, like you could hold them both in that and go bloop, 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 back and forth. And I personally, as English style knitter, if I don't want to do the 2 fingers, I can hold them both in, like, over and under this, and I can flip back and forth with my English style. Like, there's ways to do it.
Yeah.
So now that you've discovered that, you can decide if you want to be picking up and dropping or holding both.
I don't mind picking up and dropping. It's not a...
Yeah, neither do I.
I got, like...
That's the way I teach
5 rows done doing that in, like, half the time that it was taking me to alternate. I was like... No.
This is why the few Fair Isle classes I've done, I have taught like at least 3 methods. Most are based off of English style knitting, but I'm willing to troubleshoot and work it out.
I listened to all those classes.
Listening is not the same as doing. But
I could cable before I could knit.
I know. She knew how to do cables before she learned how to knit.
Because I listened to all those classes.
All right. I'm noticing it's a couple minutes after 10, so
Oops.
we are going to stop in case the phone will ring or something.
I'm surprised it hasn't.
I know, sometimes it's quiet.
It's the calm before the storm.
So, anyway, we're about to dive headlong into a long day, but a good day. Maybe we'll talk to a few of you.
Wish us luck.
That means this video hopefully will be uploaded around noontime, because that's just the way this works at this point. The technology's communicating to each other. It takes about 2 hours.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that works. Not that you'll know to be watching for this at noon, because you won't see it till noon. Meta. Anyway, yeah.
Subscribe. Like.
Please do all the things that help out us on YouTube and help you out to know when you can see us again.
Comment.
Give us a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Share it with friends if you think they would enjoy this. Because we all need a little more happiness right now. Yay!
Stay tuned for more adventures of Liz and Rebecca.
And I don't know what I say after that, because you already said all the subscribe stuff.
Sorry, I took your...
Anyway, yes, I'm liking this.
It is so cute. I really like it.
Now I need to do something with color work and fun and something totally different.
With color work and fun. Anyway.